The streets were slick with rain, not with water, but with danger. But unlike most evenings, tonight glowed with a quiet intensity. Golden lanterns flickered as people, farmers, kings, children, and champions gathered in hushed awe. Something sacred was about to unfold. It wasn't just the sun that set, it was a curtain rising. Golden lanterns glowed, dancing across the eyes of legends and laborers alike. Farmers wiped their hands, warriors tightened their belts, and children huddled close to their parents. The people came, kings with jeweled robes, barefoot farmers still smelling of earth, artisans with clay-stained fingers, children wide-eyed with wonder, and champions of the field, warriors, runners, even football legends. No referees here, no red cards, just the oldest game in the world. And it wasn't football. At the center stood Solomon, not as a king in robes, but as a father, teacher, and coach. In his hand he held not a scroll this time, but a heart-shaped box sealed with golden thread. Behind him a massive scroll of stories. Before him a field that looked like a court, a pitch, an arena, and a battlefield of souls. He raised the box.
My son, keep my words and store up my commands within you. Keep my commands and you will live. Guard my teachings as the apple of your eye. This is your heart. Guard it. Seal wisdom inside it like treasure, too precious to lose.
His voice was like thunder wrapped in silk. The people leaned in. A stillness washed over the courtyard, breath held like a final penalty kick.
This is your heart, not a toy, not a playground. It's a fortress. Guard it, not with fear, but with the truth.
Then came the scene, but to be seen by the crowd only by following King Solomon through narrow alleys near the edge of the city to witness the whispering voice in the street. They passed vendors packing up, past night lurkers cloaked in perfume and shadow, a glowing alleyway slick with deception, a neon sign buzzed overhead, Pleasure FC, no coaches, no cameras. His feet were fast, but his eyes wandered. He didn't know it, but he was walking into the oldest game in the world. No rules, no VR, just the seduction of illusion. The crowd peeked through a carved wooden window. Inside, a young man wandered aimlessly down the street at twilight, hands in pockets, eyes wandering, his steps had no direction, his eyes no caution.
I noticed among the young men a youth who had no sense. He was going down the street near her corner.
The air thickened, a soft, seductive voice echoed through the walls.
From a shadowy doorway, a woman appeared. Beautiful, bold, her words dripping with flattery.
She came at him like a false nine. She moved like a trick play, a perfect decoy.
She reached for the youth, dropping deep, playing innocent, but her eyes were offside.
Regret FC, her smile is sharp. She cracked the door open, music pulsed low, neon lights spelled out Fanfare FC on the wall. She was not gaudy, not loud, but cloaked in mystery and confidence.
Come, let's drink deeply of love till morning. Hey superstar, you look good. I've got a booth, no rules, no regrets. Even Ronald goes on holiday.
I've got training at dawn.
This is a special training.
The youth smiled. He followed. The crowd watched, spellbound, stricken. Solomon looked into the eyes of those around him as he turned his eyes to the crowd. The silence was thick, tense. Solomon, now beside a glowing panel like a VAR monitor, rewound the scene. Solomon whispered, as if to the stars.
I saw among the simple a youth with no sense. He followed her like an ox to the slaughter.
Super, Proverbs 7:722, on-screen text.
With persuasive words, she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk. All at once he followed her like an ox going to the slaughter.
Hey superstar, why walk alone? I've got a private booth. No cameras, no coaches.
I've got training at dawn.
One night won't hurt. Even Messi takes a day off.
Messi clenched his fists. He didn't even see it. The people nodded. Some looked down, remembering. Others sat straighter, forewarned. Ronaldo shook his head and whispered, it looked like love, but it was a trap.
She's playing him. Classic distraction. No defensive awareness. He's getting cooked. He's about to score for the wrong team.
The player follows her into the club and steps into a booth. The door locks behind him. Inside, the red lights flicker. revealing a trophy case filled with broken, shattered dreams. Velvet shadows dance on cracked mirrors. A hollow boot catches his eye, not of gold or glory but downtrodden lives, torn contracts, jerseys with names forgotten. The woman now looms taller, colder. He thought it was a shortcut to happiness. But the best tricks are the ones you don't see coming.
Congratulations. You just scored for the wrong team. You just signed with Regret FC.
Every step, every glance, every harmless smile had been a setup.
Her house is a highway to the grave, leading down to the chambers of death.
No recovery from that tackle. Should have kept his eyes on the ball.
Guard your heart like a goalkeeper guards the net. Temptation doesn't dribble, it intercepts. Let wisdom be your sister. Let understanding be your closest friend.
The final whistle hadn't blown yet, but some choices are irreversible substitutions. The player clutched the book to his chest. Not all games end in glory, but some losses become lessons, if the heart survives.
Write wisdom on the tablet of your heart, he declared. Let understanding be your closest friend. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart.
King Solomon looked at the crowd. He placed the heart-shaped box gently into the hands of a trembling child.
Your heart is not a playground, it's a fortress. Guard it, not with walls of fear, but with walls of wisdom.
As the stars emerged, Solomon's voice lowered.
Many are the victims she has brought down. Her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is a highway to the grave, leading down to the chambers of death. He looked at the champions. At the height of your strength, you are most at risk if your heart isn't guarded. Even at your strongest, when crowds cheer your name, the wrong voice can bring you down if your heart isn't guarded. He turned to the commoners. Even in the stillness of home, the wrong voice can lead to ruin if you aren't anchored by truth. To the artisans, the work of your hands flows from the choices of your heart. To the children, you are not too young to build walls of truth. To the broken, your final whistle hasn't blown, but some choices, some red cards, are permanent. Solomon raised the heart-shaped box once more. Let wisdom be your sister. Let understanding be your closest friend. Store up my words, and you will walk securely in a world full of snares.
As stars lit the night sky above the compound once more, the people rose, not in fear but in resolve.
One artisan spoke. What we allow into our hearts shapes the course of our lives. Solomon nodded. Your heart is not a playground. It is a fortress. Build walls, not of fear but of truth.
The crowd dispersed with silence, not of confusion but of conviction. Their hearts were no longer open fields, they were fortresses. Fortresses sealed by wisdom, anchored in truth and guarded like a keeper guarding the net. Behind them, ants carried away a discarded jersey. But ahead, children traced the words "Wisdom 1, Temptation 0" into the dust. And somewhere in the distance, the heart-shaped box beat softly in the hands of a child, still sealed, still strong. Final score. Temptation played hard, but wisdom had the better coach. But the player wasn't on the winning side. And that night, everyone in the crowd had Proverbs 7's lesson hits harder than a Holland strike. This tonight, they all knew, the game is daily, and the heart is always on the line.